and shine out here on this is Tuesday, right? My tenacious Tuesday, rise and shine. I am very, very grateful to be here, and I want to welcome you all to the Circle of Caring. Great morning. I was sharing with Miss Rebecca that, and most of you all know, when I come in, the first part of the day, I just love to, and I encourage you to get you one or two in. Great to see you, AJ. Great to see you. Get you one or two in. Because most of the time, right? Somebody say most. Most of the time, we don't know where you came from, where you going, right, Mr. John? Yes, ma'am. What you got to do tonight. I mean, all of the things. And even for me, I got a call this morning heading out that we lost a childhood friend, and it makes you that much more appreciate life. And so, if you're new to the Circle of Caring, welcome. Welcome, welcome. Great morning, Mr. Shonda. And you probably wonder, like, okay, we start at 11:30. Y'all already know, and they should have told you, once you started and walked in this room, you've already started. Your highs, your welcomes, your introductions, that's exactly what the Circle of Caring is. Only thing you was missing, somebody say only. Only thing you were missing was the music. Okay, didn't it change the atmosphere a little bit?
Right.
And so for those that do not work in an office with music, let me just put this disclaimer out there. Set the atmosphere, because that makes the difference. And my preference, I love music. And so if you need a playlist, let me know. I got all genres. And Beyonce even got a country one now, right? I mean, I don't know. I ain't no Beyonce fan, but I said, boy, she sure probably made and is making a lot of money with that, right? Mr. Mike, have you listened to it yet?
I haven't heard Beyonce.
Oh yeah, Mr. Mike, you gotta hear it. I can't wait to get your feedback on it, right? And it was with a Shreveport veteran. So I'm just saying, Google it. Willie Jones. Yes, Google it. So just a little history, I mean, again, welcome to the Circle of Caring. This is what we do. And so, at the Circle of Caring, we get an opportunity to gather people who care. That's what we do. We gather people who care. We intentionally, as Community Renewal International, build and grow positive and caring relationships. And a lot of times we want to like, so who is she? What is her? I haven't introduced it for a reason, because it's not even about me. We come in these rooms and it's about we. So if you come in here and you think this is Nina's thing or the community renewal, then we have to shift our thinking, because these rooms is about we versus me. It's the one time in life that I'm okay with learning foreign language. I mean, I want to learn it, but I'm very comfortable with that terminology, we, right? But we gather people who care. We gather people who understand that there are no I's in team. Amen. There are no I's in team. Together, each accomplishes more. And then we also gather people who understand the power of the team. And so in that, I was also reflecting back on, this is our third year in, and 100%, not 50, not 60, I'm talking about 100% of those that has dropped themselves within the culture of the Circle of Caring have reported that they have been impacted by their sense of community, belonging, and connections. Would you agree with that, Ms. Robin?
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely, right? That has been our mission from day one, is to gather individuals, businesses, churches, and organizations that understand the power of caring. But most importantly, how we can do this together. So, we're going to get ready to eat. If they have not told you, who's new for the first time, I'm not going to embarrass you, but I see your faces. I just want everybody else to see your faces, right? So if they have not told you who invited you, we always, somebody say always. We're going to always eat good. Okay? Always eat good. So we're going to enjoy a meal together, but I want to challenge you, and we're doing it a bit different, which is always the joys. I'm learning some things even from Start Court, right? Y'all, if y'all have not gotten into their meetings, they say that I've encouraged them to do it, and they encourage me to step up my game with their fun icebreakers and stuff. So, anyway, right, Doc? I mean, just love giving honor where honor is. Bless you. So my question this morning, as we get ready to prepare for lunch, we're doing it a bit different. This is a would you rather, question this morning, right? And you all know that if you want to be comfortable, AJ, you will never be successful. And if you want to be successful, you will never be comfortable. The two don't go together. But we, in this room, we understand that. We know in this room that big things cost for big measures. So this would you rather question is a hard one, but you got to decide, right? So, would you rather jump out of a plane or climb Mount Everest?
Okay. I'm not to do that.
Right? So I just want you to think about it. Would you rather, right?
Definitely climb.
Parachute for sure. But would you rather jump out of a plane or climb Mount Everest? Now, you don't have to make a decision now, because that is going to be your think tank for lunch, okay? So, if you would rather jump out of a plane, I want you to go ahead and prepare for lunch. I'll cover us in prayer. Actually, Doc, I'll ask you to cover us for grace. But if you'd rather jump out of a plane, I want you to join in line first, because the goal is you're then going to meet your counterparts in line, and that's who you're going to enjoy lunch with today. Okay? So you'll sit with someone that you didn't come with. I know. It's like the students. I know, but that's okay, Miss Strickland. We got more visitors today for the first time, so we want to break them in easy, Miss Strickland.
We got too much stuff today.
I know it. It's gonna be all about uncomfortability. It's always, y'all know what it is. It's like the kids in class, isn't it? You say something, but y'all not kids, of course. But okay, so if you would rather jump out of a plane, feel free to go to the line first. We'll cover us in prayer, and then if you would rather climb Mount Everest, that is your new friend at your tables. When you come back, you'll have a cheat sheet that after you say, and who you sit with your new friend today, then you'll have a sheet that will give you some cheat questions, Megan.
What if we all want to jump out of the plane?
Well, then guess what? Just find that person and sit with them, right? That's easy. That makes it even easier, because then you got to just find out who you don't know, right? Or who you need to know better. Somebody say better.
Better.
Right? And so when you come back to your tables, you'll have a cheat sheet that will give you, Megan, it's like the pop quiz. It's going to give you questions that if you just don't know what to ask about their dog. Ask them if they like cats. But there's a cheat sheet that I am going to give you on your table that will help you, Megan, get through the process of asking questions. You're not the only one uncomfortable. I can name several in the room that's looking at me right now too, Megan. So it's okay, okay? But y'all, let's pray. Doc, will you open us up in prayer?
Yes, thank you. Master, we're in awe of all of these awesome servant leaders that you brought together, that work through sacrificing and suffering and serving those that across this community. We thank you for their humility and for their hearts. As we gather together, we just pray that we would work and bow to each other, that we would make this city, this state, this world a home where all children, all people can be safe and loved and grow in their full potential. Bless this food and this fellowship and this time we have together. It's in your precious name, Jesus, we pray. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, John. Restrooms are in the back here.
Great.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, let's bring this right back in. I know we are still having great conversations. That's always the good part. Especially when I get to hear the guy in the striped shirt talking. I just love it. Because he doesn't much, so I usually just let him go on. Love it. For him alone, y'all get 60 more seconds.
Is the peach cobbler good? I haven't even tasted it. I know. So we gotta get this thing. I already know, sis. I'm in this fight with you. Jesus, trust me. I'm working on it, sis. Girl, it's a struggle.
All right, y'all, let's go ahead and roll so we can stay on schedule. We got some good stuff in store. So would you rather, somebody say rather.
Rather.
Would you rather jump out of a plane or climb Mount Everest was the $1 trillion question, okay? So what I would like for you to do is to introduce yourself. I know it was hard for all of the instructions to come through clearly. So if your friend, your new friend, is the opposite of what you were instructed to do, that's okay, right? It's okay. So would you rather jump out of a plane or Mount Everest? Introduce your new friend. Who are they? What organization they represent? And if you want to share any other thing on your cheat sheet about them, you can. This is, of course, our elevator pitch. And so it's always, whether you're introducing yourself or you're introducing a prospective partner that someone else can benefit from, then we use this time to do just that. So I'm going to ask that we keep it at 30 seconds or less, okay? Just because I want to make sure that we're respectful of time and we're moving through our program to get you all out here in time to continue to do what you're doing as you're changing the community one person at a time, okay? So let's start with this table over here. I know. I'll start with this table over here because all of them are big time leaders and I know they don't mind. So, Sharpelle, will you start? Because I know we're going to hear from you more. So today, I'm excited about that. This is my partner in success.
Okay, Miss Debbie Washington will be jumping out of the plane with me today. She is a counselor for Northwest Louisiana Technical Community College. Ms. Debbie decided to become a counselor and work in the community college sector because she just has a heart to help people. She has no pets. And Ms. Debbie has an honor society induction ceremony coming up that she would like for us to help by spreading the word and possibly attending at Northwest Louisiana Technical.
Yes, thank you. Great job. Way to kick it off, Sharpelle. Go ahead, Miss Debbie.
Well, my partner in crime is Ms. Sharpelle, and she is with Community Renewal. She has pets. They're a little different. She has cattle. Not really pets.
Pets that make money.
I have food.
What kind of work that she does? She works out in the community. She seeks various resources. She interacts with us, and she is a great resource.
Yes, she is. Thank you. Oh, go ahead. Keep going.
Others coming up. She is inviting us to take a tour throughout the city. There are cards on your table. Please take one and sign up with Ms. Sharpelle. Thank you.
Yes, way to go, y'all. Okay, Mr. John.
Hey, everybody. I'd like to introduce you to Robin. Robin is with Louisiana Workforce Development.
Yes.
Do I have to do that too? American Job. I'll do it. American Job Center. Robin has 2 dogs. And how many grandkids did you say you had? 2. We always kind of seem to focus on pets, right? Robin is also in workforce. We're both in workforce. I'm much newer to workforce than Robin, but Robin has informed me that we're already partners, which makes our partnership easy. between the organizations. And let's see, what else am I missing off of there? Yeah, we can kind of work together on some workforce projects. Right?
Oh, yeah, definitely. Yeah. So, everybody, this is Jonathan Key.
Hey, Mr.
John. Yeah. Anyway, so he's I'm Cheaton, Executive Director of Education and Training. So at the Louisiana Workforce Development Area 70 American Job Centers, that's what we do. We make sure it's an employment program that has an educational aspect, and NLTCC is one of our educational partners.
Yeah.
And so their kids, we pay for kids and adults who go to jobs. So that's how we work. We'll work
That's right, that's right.
definitely.
Very
And
good.
events, lots of events.
Thank y'all. Yay. Okay, so we'll go to this table. And don't feel pressured if you don't want to stand. Like y'all, we at home, y'all know that. Go ahead, do what you want.
Hi everyone, I'm Jamie Washington and I have Mr. Robert Odom. He works with Community Renewal as well, and one of his hobbies is watching TV.
Yes.
This is Jamie Washington. She's with Start Corporation. They have services for housing, recovery, and mental health. She's here to connect with resources in the community. If I wanted to volunteer for them, I would give them referrals in support of knowing and I can't read my writing, but recovery, housing and recovery.
Cool. Thanks, Mr. Robert. Thank y'all. And listen, y'all, let me just say, of course, that he don't like all of the attention, but Mr. Robert really is such a vital asset to our ministry as a whole at Community Renewal. So he's so much more than just working at CRI, so we appreciate you, Mr. Robert. Wade?
Well, my name is Wade Simwell with Community Renewal, and my partner didn't show up, which means by next week I'm going to invite a guest, so I'll have a partner.
That's why, Wade. That's why you my guy.
Right.
I love it, Wade. And listen, y'all, Wade is who I aspire to be at just, 100 years young. He is like, I just love Wade. And every time y'all got to know Wade to know what keeps him thriving. So, Megan, talk to us. Yes. Oh, sorry. Okay, let's go around the other way then. Oh, come on, Megan. Okay, come on.
So I'm going to introduce Dr. Russell Minor. He is the Haven House leader, and he's a minister at Mount Cannon, and he's a loving neighbor. He also has 5 kids, 3 dogs, no other pets. He works in these fields because it's his calling, his lifestyle. He loves people, and he has a Noah complex with his ministry. To help him, you can recruit more neighbors in the block to be leaders and to come to the Haven House meetings.
Yay. Thank you for sharing, baby.
This is Miss Megan Adger. She has 7 children, a beautiful blended family, 4 dogs, 1 cat, and 5 crawfish.
That's pets.
She works at the Community Center of Louisiana, and I just met her. She has a passion for people. I think I met her working human trafficking. She said that she loves it so much because it was her life experience that she found herself in a tough situation. And that's why she enjoyed working with youth, both ladies and young men. And I don't know what this is. I can't read my own writing. I'm sorry, you all.
That's okay.
Oh, we need help with it.
Yeah, we need help with. She wants us to bring her or help her with hygiene products for all the young people that she serves. Thank you.
Wonderful, wonderful. Thank y'all for that. And y'all, for the sake of time, we want to make sure that we're speeding up through our introductions, but I want to make sure if we don't introduce anything else on that sheet, because you don't have to go through all of it, okay? But if you introduce nothing else, make sure you introduce your friend, their organization, and what is their need. Because we want to highlight that. That's the mission of us coming together, is to highlight our needs so that we can service and support each other, okay? So instead of reading through all of yours, just at least highlight their need. So we'll go to the next.
She's still writing.
Okay.
Yes, please. Help the ladies out, please.
Okay, so my connection today is Miss Precious Wynn.
Newly.
Precious has a daughter named Tegan. She has a puppy named Wesley. She is a part of Stark Corp and a recovery coach. She said the reason why she's there is because God told her to be still. She feels like God placed her there. Ways that she can help, we can help each other is she can help me with diverting callers to the 988 Lifeline from 911 to where there'll be alternate resources other than 911.
Absolutely. Welcome.
So my new friend today is Mr. Gregory Below. He has no kids, no pets. I don't know if he ever wrote his name. He might be the most eligible bachelor here. He is the director of Helpline Services with the Louisiana Association for Compulsive Gambling. Why is he here? He says he loves seeing the change in people. The job is extremely rewarding for him. What can we do to help? We can exchange and share resources with one another, and they also have an event, Gift for Good, coming up May 7th. So get with him on that. And that's pretty much it. That's
Awesome.
Cool.
So my new friend is Miss Rashonda. She invited me today, but it's still my new friend. I met her at another meeting.
Yes.
She has 3 kids, 4 grands. The kind of work that she does, she houses the homeless. She's a case manager for community support. And what we could do to help one another is, of course, I refer to her. We can do more referrals. We can help find each other more resources. And CSP is also doing the Gift for Good.
Yes, absolutely.
My new friend is Carrie, and I always say her name wrong.
Okay.
Guys, and no pets, 2 kids, 1 grand. She is the new lead program manager at CoC Connection.
Yay, congrats.
And, she loves what she does. She also has a passion for it. She cares for the clients that we serve, which is the homeless population, which is a hard population to work with. And to learn more, she wants to, why are they there? To learn more information and we're here to learn more information from different ones that we meet, Dr. Forman, our new friend, and we want to gain more resources so that when we are meeting with the homeless persons that we serve, if they need any resource, whatever, we can maybe get some or gain some more information for them. And as I said, we house the homeless. She sends them to me and I house them.
Work together. Okay, we'll go to that back table and then our last table.
My new bestie, tell me how to play with you today, is Miss Selena Strickland.
Yes.
And she works for the City of Shreveport Community Development Department in the Caddo American Job Center. We used to call it the unemployment office.
Yes.
But they like to be referred to now as the re-employment office. So she is a project manager, and she says that I can help her. She needs dependable and reliable candidates looking for work. How many of y'all can say amen? I haven't been called back yet by a tradesman. So I told her that community renewal works with youth really hard, teaching them those soft skills. Call them back, stand up straight, look them in the eye, speak and tell where you can be understood. So I said, we can send her applicants, and, well, you can tell how you're gonna help her.
Yeah.
Hi, everybody.
Hey.
My new best friend is Miss Diane Lloyd, and she is a grant writer with Community Renewal. And I can, what is it, why is she there, why she loves to do what she does. She feels like, I asked her, the city, I said, do you mean the city? She said, no, the world needs to go in a new direction. We really need to learn how to develop relationships, because a lot of community, a lot of communication in itself, everything is built on how you develop a relationship with that person, which Ms. Nita is constantly talking about. But it is very important, even in our work fields, working with our clients, developing a relationship, and getting ready to know them and what their needs are. Absolutely. And like I also told her, we're known as One Stop. We try to be an area where people don't have to be running all over the city to get different services. So we also house veterans. We house Louisiana Rehab, just different services in that one building. And along with the employment cards, we also, along with CDC of Bossier, that's 70, we 71, do pay for their education if they become eligible for our WeAll program. So that's a big plus even in itself. And of course, she was saying how we can help each other is by the people that she referred to really take notice. And as they have taught them soft skills or whatever they need, try to get them to become employed or even pay for their training.
And I forgot to say, she does what she does because she loves to help people realize their dreams.
Yes. Oh, I love that. Did y'all feel that energy? Yes, like that's why these type of, our time to network is so important. Okay, ladies and gents.
I am Ray Williams, and although I chose the more safety route was to jump out of airplanes.
Because they don't forgot all about that. I just let them go. I just let them go for the sake of time.
Mr. Mike, and he is always the one to kind of dive into danger, so he decided he's going to climb up a mountain. So Mr. Mike Leonard, he is with Community Renewal. There he is an associate coordinator, but he is also a dentist. His job at Community Renewal, he feels that he was called by God to be there. And that's his purpose, to make sure that he's doing anything that according to God's will. The dentist area, he chose it because it seemed like a good way to be able to have a financial, comfortable life. Okay, so what he does to help is he is a good relationship person, and he equips men through discipleship. One of the ways that you can help him and support what he does is to see him and sign up for the We Care.
Yes. Good job.
Okay, well, I've got a little, I can cheat a little bit because I met Desiree on our last monthly tour, so I can say this. She's a troublemaker. And several of her colleagues are troublemakers, and they fit perfectly on my bus because I was the head troublemaker. So that we're already connected in a lot of ways. She works at the YWCA. She heads up a youth program there called LEAD, and that is an acronym for Leadership, Education, and Development. And their focus is on youths and acquiring the resources that their youth need to become successful citizens and fulfill the potential that God has given each one of them and us. And her need at this point is for her senior girls for graduation supplies and gifts.
Hello, I'm AJ Dunn, and I also cheated a little bit because I met Miss Jan how many weeks ago did y'all started it? Like 2 weeks ago?
Yes.
Okay, so the networking events are working.
Yes.
Okay, so Miss Jan has 4 children, 10 grandchildren, and 5 great-grandchildren. She also has 7 feral cats, which I am allergic to. Miss Jan is a caregiver, and she loves people, and she feels called to do this work. She's at Community Renewal, and she also does some work with a ministry. And you can help her by attending Community Renewal events.
Our partner is AJ Dunn. She's the executive director of the YWCA, so she has a big job. We can help by spreading the word that they are the premier women's resource center in the area.
I like that.
Yes.
Because I'm full. The person that's gonna jump out of the plane between my partners, definitely gonna hold each other's hand when we're going down. It's Miss Laverne. And I can cheat a little bit too, because I met Miss Laverne and we had a women's diversity gathering. And oh my God, I was sitting at a table with no one that I knew. But by the end of the event, I knew them all, and Miss Laverne was one. She's a mother, she's a grandmother, and she want y'all to know she have an empty nest. And I agree with her because I have an empty nest. Her daughter is 38 years young, her son is 24 years young, and a granddaughter that's 17. Y'all know what them 17s like. Oh, they in your pocket. So, and what she do for fun is jet ski and swim.
Come on.
So she loves to be active.
Oh, yeah.
She is a licensed counselor, excuse me, and a clinical supervisor. Okay. And what are they there for? What are you there for? Okay. She's compassionate to help others. And we have that in common because I'm gonna pass it on and she'll share.
Okay. This is Miss Pam. She has a son and daughter that's 39. She works at Community Renewal. I have been there for 20 years. She loves skating, spending time with her children. What is this one? Oh, she's there because she likes to provide for her family and fulfill her passion. And the way that you can help her is to be, the way that she can help is to be present and help in any capacity.
All right.
My name is David McCarter, and my partner in crime here was Amy Boyette. And so I'm going to preface what I'm going to say by saying we chose to be Everest climbers. And if you know anything about Everest, it takes years of preparation, years of training and development, and a very slow and methodical pace. So we didn't really get to the answers of the questions very well. I'm trying my best to find a good excuse for that. But I do know that she is new back into town. She's originally from here and lived in Colorado Springs for 7 years. Worked with autistic children. She has her master's degree in behavioral sciences. Is that right? Close enough.
Yeah.
And has settled back into Shreveport recently.
Yes.
Yeah.
Last year.
And we welcome her to town. That's about all. I will let her share if she has any needs or any desires from this group.
Cool. Thank you. Welcome, Amy, and welcome back to Shreveport.
Thank you. So my friend is David McCarter. You guys probably know him better than me because his father started Community Renewal, and he's been with you guys for 27 years now. And then here, I'll look at my cheat sheet. He's got 3 kids and 2 dogs. And yeah, we didn't get to the last part, but I'm sure that we can both help by putting on community renewal events and volunteering to help people in the community.
And I will say that just by your presence here and the networking that's happening is you're fulfilling the need that I have.
Absolutely.
And the desire that I have for the
Thank y'all so much for sharing. And even as we land our plane today, so the question was, would you rather jump out of a plane or climb Mount Everest? And so I asked Mr. David, what's the minimum? Like, what's the fastest time somebody has done? Because that will help me gauge how long it's going to take me, right? So his response was, how long, Mr. D?
My best guess in fuzzy recollections is that somebody's done up and back in Everest in about 17 hours.
And I said, what? So if y'all heard me say that, that's why I said that, right? Because I thought if it took somebody 17, me and Amy said we would have to live up there. Like, there's no way I can get up there and get, I'm telling y'all, I just know the journey of my life in that. But imagine the conversations that you get to have going up. You know, imagine the people around you in that. And so as we bring up who's going to close our last time out together, I want you to know that those questions are for a reason, because it not only gets you to think, but it gets you to understand that regardless, both of those is going to be uncomfortable. Both of those is going to require us out of our box. Both of those is going to require us surrounding ourselves around other people that's going to help us prepare. That's going to help us prepare physically, whether it's Mount Everest, or mentally if it's next to us on the plane. And so what we understood this year was that we were going to work through the 8 elements. Somebody say 8. And that just so happens to be my number of new beginnings. Right? So the 8 elements this year that we're focused on, we started in January just recapping our year, looking at where we've been, but more so where we're going. Okay? Then in February, we actually talked about common culture, because we understood very early coming in that regardless of who was coming, we needed the culture to be as such that whether you came for the first time or this is your 15th time, we wanted you to be at home. So the culture was very important, and we heard from, we talked about our commonalities, but even more so our differences. How do we live with each other within our differences? So I love to say that we don't even have to like each other, right? But we gotta love our community to be able to do what we can do together, okay? So March, we talked about safe environment. That was where we gathered, and the launch was introduced of the app. Y'all got an opportunity to see that within this safe environment, we want to bring, or within this common culture, we want to bring a safe environment, which is this app. If you have not heard about the app, all of what you're talking about, the resources is getting ready to be funneled through the Circle of Caring app that we have the opportunity of having the first in the entire state of Louisiana. So precious. I don't take that stuff for granted. Okay? So while we're preparing these, do y'all know, Mr. David could talk about it if we had time, but do y'all know how uncomfortable I feel on these meetings? Because it's out of my metron. This is not what I do, but I know that you have to do some things and you have to be uncomfortable for the better good of the whole. So we talked about the safe environment, and Mr. Kim and Mr. Davis shared about that. And today, and this month, we are talking about enhancing relationships. And so as you talked about or talked with one another, Mr. Mike opened this month with enhancing relationships because we figured that because we intentionally build and grow positive and caring relationships through community renewal, what better organization than to talk about enhancing mutual relationships. And so Ms. Sharpell, who is the yin to the yang of this organization, she is our renewal team director, and that's what she does exactly. She goes out into the community, and the goal is to renew it. Whether that's with you, with her, with them, whoever, but that's our goal. And she gets an opportunity to talk about how we get to do that collectively to incorporate the community. So Sharpell is going to come up and share with us a few minutes on how, and y'all, let's give it up for her.
Mike and I
gonna try to do this very, very quickly. It's an icebreaker turned into an ice melting. All right, so on your tables, you have a sentence. Everybody has a sentence on their table. I ask you to vote for somebody to read that sentence on that table. The sentence is, I didn't say he said that. Are you ready? Have you designated a reader for your table? Who's the most dramatic at your table? While we're talking about, before Mike comes and talk about mutually enhancing relationships, I want to talk about how easy it is for us to destroy relationships. We do it all the time. We don't even know we're doing it sometimes. First table. Who's the Shakespeare at that table? All right, stand and read your sentence.
I didn't say he did that.
This table.
I didn't say he did that.
That table.
I didn't say he did that.
That table.
I didn't say he did that.
Last table.
I didn't say he did that.
So, I'm hearing these statements, right? And so I come from this table, and I go to this table, and I say, Gregory said she did it. That's what he said. That's what he stood and he said he didn't do it, she did it. And then I come to this table and I say, well, somebody at that table said they did something else. They didn't do what the rumor is, but they did something else. Right? And what was y'all's
I didn't say he did that.
I didn't say it. I just typed it in an email. Right? Loophole. So, what do everybody put the emphasis on the same sentence, the way they filtered that sentence, right?
Right.
What did every table have in common, though?
The same sentence.
It's the same sentence. Right. But because I'm over here and I don't get along with people over there, and I kind of don't like Greg anyway because I want his job, I'm going to go and fix it and put my little emphasis on what I want to put it on. And I'm going to add to what Jonathan said Robin said it. He was clear that he didn't start the rumor. Robin did it. Because he said, I didn't say it. Right. He meant Robin said it. And so, because we are not in relationship, because we are disjointed, right? There is so much opportunity for relationships not only to break down, but to never be built in the first place. But what do we have in common? What did every table have in common? It was the same sentence, right? So if I know Gregory, and if I intentionally decide that I'm going to build a relationship with Gregory, I'm going to go and talk to Gregory and say, you know, there's something going around, and I wanted to know if I'm hearing this the correct way. We start with what we have in common, full stop. If you want to build mutually enhancing relationships, forget how you vote. Forget what type of hairbrush you use. Forget where you worship, if you worship. Forget whether or not you support Israel or Palestine. Forget all of that. Start with what you have in common. Right? And then we build from there. There's science behind this, y'all. Mike is going to talk about how every community, every empire has collapsed. Not from the outside. We do it to ourselves. And we want to be the one that doesn't collapse, that's ever renewing. And let's talk about why we...
I think they're saying that we've heard that before. But anyway, thank you, Sharpell. Some of you have heard some of this at our breakfast a couple of weeks ago, but I put this little cheat sheet on your tables because it'll help, I think, understand not only where we are as a community and nation and maybe even world, but where we want to go. And so simply put, the mission of community renewal is the renewal of community. And we don't have a better community until we have better people. And people get better through their relationships. Now, every person in this room can identify where they fit in what we call the village system. And the village, if you will, is the only collectivity of human beings that has never collapsed. And so in our study of the village, we have identified these 8 basic elements, 7 of which are fundamental, and 1 is foundational, relationships. We need good education. We need jobs. We need decent health care, affordable, let's say affordable health care. We need all of these elements.
Affordable and decent.
Yeah. We need, all of these elements are important, but there's only one that's foundational if we want to really renew our communities and our world. And so this idea of mutually enhancing relationships came about as in a study of history. And you all probably know that historically civilizations have grown and collapsed throughout the course of recorded history. Well, a historian named Arnold Toynbee did a comprehensive study of all of this rise. He identified this life cycle where civilizations are born, they grow, they plateau, decay, decline, and collapse. And so 23 times over the course of recorded history, he identified civilizations that have come and gone. And so Lewis Mumford, the philosopher and sociologist and author, Toynbee and Mumford were contemporaries. They were both applying their trades in the early, mid 20th century. He asked the question, why do we keep collapsing? 23 times we've gone through this life cycle as human beings. Now,
We're slow learners.
I don't believe we're the only smart people that have ever inhabited the earth, right? Somewhere along the way, these 23 human experiences did not work out the way they intended. And so our bet is they assumed that relationships would always be in place, that this foundational piece of the village would always be there. And there's nothing further from the truth. If you think about your interpersonal relationships, they're either growing or diminishing. And they're dynamic. There's no such thing as me and my wife just kind of in neutral. We're not getting better. If you think you're in neutral, your relationship is diminishing. Sharpell pointed out another one that's important. Commonality. We should celebrate our diversity. Thank God we're not all the same. But if that's all we do is celebrate how we're different, that's not going to be good for my wife and I's relationship either. So we have to find things that we share in common. And then lastly, if you want your relationship to get better and better and better, you've got to give it positive, intentional attention. And so community renewal's work really revolves around those basic rules of relationship and how we can go to scale on a citywide basis. And the reason we use the village is because it hasn't collapsed. And a couple of the characteristics of the village that we learned is the villagers had a common ethic. There was a kind of a common rule book that they followed. They also they saw each other in a common family. So they were sharing and caring for one another. They also had common traditions. The breaking of bread, meals together were important. And lastly, they understood that the experience was not just all about them, but there was a transcendent power that was available. in the system. And so the village, if you will, is how we have organized community renewal as a framework for the transformation, because it takes all of this stuff. But primarily, if we don't get this foundation right, it really doesn't matter what we do in our school system or how many great employers come to Shreveport. If we don't focus on this relational piece, it's all going down in a heap anyway. And so, Sharpell, I think you're going to wrap us up.
So, a quick demonstration, a quick story time of why relationships matter and why they should be mutually enhancing. There was this company, a multi-billion-dollar company. The crux of the company in a particular city sat right in one of our most socioeconomically disadvantaged neighborhoods. There was this idea, or just this knowing without it being said, that that company does not hire people from the neighborhood that it sits in. There was this group of men who had applied at this company, never to get a call back, and the company sat in the neighborhood. The company turned on the president of the company turned on the TV and saw something about something happening in the city, one of the cities where they have one of their buildings, one of their operations. And he contacted these people that were on TV. And then through that relationship, they met some people that lived in the neighborhood, right? Through that relationship, they met some people who lived across town, not necessarily in that neighborhood, but had these group of boys who needed work, who didn't come from the best places, could never walk into this company, fill out an application, and get a call back. They would go in the way that the rest of the men in that neighborhood had. But because the person across town knew the person in that neighborhood, that person knew the person at this organization, the people at that organization knew the president of the company, these kiddos who never had a chance, who came from families that were steeped in poverty. Nobody graduated high school, nobody had gainful employment, were able to connect to the person that lived across town, who connected them to the person that lived in the neighborhood where the company sat, where the operation sat, who was able to connect them to the organization who had met the president, who was able to connect him to the president. And that young man is the first in his family to ever receive gainful employment. Not only that, the perception of the company who hired that young man, who now makes more money than the person that referred him to the president, who also makes more money than the person who lives in the neighborhood who referred him to the organization, who also makes more money than the person in that other neighborhood across town. But that company has literally changed the perception among the people in that neighborhood, who say, no, they're not just these big rich people over there who ignore us. They are a part of our village now. That's the power of mutually enhancing relationships. It's a true story. What could we do if we all connected, if we used the icebreaker, the ice melting that we just did this morning, and we remembered that somebody who lives outside of the city of Shreveport that needs work and does not have the resources to get them the skill set, to get the job that will help them take care of their family, that will lift up an entire household, and possibly in turn lift up an entire family, and possibly in turn lift up an entire community. Somebody who sat in a circle of caring meeting met Robin. And I said, Robin, remember? I was a skinny black girl with the nappy hair. I sat at your table. Listen, I have this kid. He just needs help. He needs a chance. Bright kid. All the soft skills necessary. That's what relationships do. That's why circle of caring is necessary. That's why you are necessary. Relationships matter. Use them.
Thank you. Ooh, that was good, y'all. Let's give it up for them again. Mr. Mike, I know what you're talking about now when you say y'all got out there to y'all Wednesday meetings. Boy, that's a great combination. I see it. I see it, y'all. I appreciate that. And way to bring it all in of our enhancing mutual relationships and our mission. So that gives us the opportunity to jump right in our closing of announcements, upcoming events. What do you have going on? I know that there's some things coming up. As you notice, there are tour cards on the table. If you have not done a community renewal tour, please sign up for our May tour. You can reach out to the office. Also, I know Ms. Rashonda had to go, but there are some Give for Goods out there. Are we doing Give for Good? Give for Good. So Community Renewal is doing Give for Good. I know several other organizations are doing Give for Good. So
everybody in here, raise your hand if you're doing Give for Good.
Are you doing good?
Okay.
Okay, good. Also, the Day of Caring is coming up. Is there anybody in here? Yes. Is there any organizations in here that are doing Day of Caring somewhere? Okay. And so you'll see an email that's going to go out. Please let us know where you're going to be at, because the Circle of Caring cares that you care. And so we got some stuff that, we want to know where you're going to be at. You just never know. Okay. It's like Christmas in May. Okay. Or it'll be May. And so please let us know where you'll be at, and we'll be sending out that email. I also know, as Ms. Rashonda said, she was at another meeting. I know she had to go because busy people understand busy people. She was at another meeting that invited her new friends. So I encourage y'all, invite. Our rooms is for businesses, churches, and organizations, and people that we don't know. And so we want them in this room. Our organizations are coming. We're grateful for it. So this year, somebody say this year. This year, our focus is our businesses and our churches. We have to know that we need to do this together. So those are a couple of upcoming things that I know on CRI side. What do you have coming up? Ms. Rob? Go ahead.
I'm sorry. Day of Caring is May 2nd.
Yes,
right?
Thursday.
So May 4th, that's Saturday. Saturday coming up, we have the celebration of caring at our Allendale Friendship House at 1515 Clay Street.
Yes.
Drop by.
Yes.
Also coming up on May 11th, Community Renewal is partnering with Shreveport Citizens United. They're having the first of many neighborhood resource rallies.
Yes.
If you would like to have a booth at that rally, there's a flyer. Contact Shreveport Citizens United. The first one will be in Queensboro.
Yes.
May 11th.
May 11th.
Saturday, May 11th.
And these will come out as well in an email. Love it, love it. Miss Robin? Yeah.
Okay.
I know, because Miss Robin gives us the stuff, y'all.
Okay, yeah, I don't think I have it all on here, but, and I know this is not just this area, but, because we have 10 parishes. Everything outside the city limits of Shreveport and all the way to Claiborne Parish, down to Natchitoches, over to Sabine and back up again. So, what pertains to this area, AIRS Career Fair is on May 2nd, 10 to 2. May 2nd, Pines Road Job Fair is at Grace Point Church, 10 a.m. to 2. Same day, May 2nd.
Of course.
So, and the two people that made these, they work together.
Right.
Like, why did y'all do that? But anyway.
Because they need to be a part of Circle of Caring with our calendar. It's coming, it's coming.
Exactly. So, May 2nd, 2 job fairs are going on.
Cool.
May 7th, Bossier Parish Community College Spring Graduate Career Fair. Now, yes, they are aiming this at graduates from Bossier Parish Community College. However, there's going to be employers there, and we're going to be there. And if somebody walked off the street, I wouldn't know if they were a student or not.
Right.
We don't ask for IDs in the student union.
Right.
You have somebody that needs a job, they can go to this career fair and probably get one.
Absolutely.
We're going to be in Vivian, Louisiana at the North Caddo library on Pine Street, Vivian, Louisiana. We're recruiting for our youth participants ages 14 to 24. So we can send them to BIPC, we can send them to Northwest Louisiana Technical College, we can send them to Southern University. And those youth, they can get a 4-year college paid for, plus supportive services.
Absolutely.
So we're recruiting. North Caddo, we're gonna be on 615 Pine Street in Vivian.
Okay.
And then, oh Lord, I think we should have I think that's gonna be it until our next meeting.
Okay.
Okay.
That's cool. That's right.
Thank you, thank you. I love the resources that come through these rooms. Go ahead, AJ.
So at the YWCA, we host chat and choose, which are basically conversations where we discuss race and how it affects things that are going on in our community. This Friday, we will have a chat and chew from 1 to 2:30 at our YWCA office. And the topic this month is shame into pain, and so we'll be discussing healthcare and how that affects women of color versus white women.
That's gonna be so good.
1 to 2:30.
Any other upcoming announcements? Go ahead, Mr. John.
In the spirit of job fairs, we are also hosting a job fair at Northwest Community College on June 6th from 9 to 12 at the Northwest campus. A couple other things just to think about as you're working in the community. We have another section of lineman training starting this summer. I don't think a lot of people appreciate, like, my buddy sent his kid for lineman training to Texas last spring, cost him $20,000.
Yeah.
Plus room and board over there. But we have it right here in our own backyard. You guarantee employment. It's a 10-month program. Average starting salary is $70,000.
Yeah.
We saw all those guys running around like crazy the last 2 days. Those guys are all on time and a half, double time. I mean, it is money in the bank. I tell these young people, this is a fantastic opportunity. If you're not afraid of heights and you like to make money, come check it out. The other thing, we have another section of plumber apprentices starting this summer. Once again, it's a fantastic trade. Once again, both of these things, some of them are subsidized with grants depending on if companies are picking up. Like SWEPCO paid for a bunch to go through last year. But even if they don't, as long as they've got either a high-set GED or they've graduated high school, they're eligible for financial aid to take these courses. And like I said, 10 months from now, you've got a really good salary.
Yeah, big
Or we
time.
can go to WIOA and we will pay for them, if they don't have their high set,
Yep.
we can pay them to get their high set, and then they can go through this, and we'll pay for their
Yes.
programs.
Yes.
So,
Yeah.
send them to us, y'all.
Yeah.
Me and her.
Literally. I mean, man, I always say to, whether it's adults or youth, if you're not succeeding, it's because of you. The resources are there. Go ahead.
You want to?
Let me say yes.
I'm loud. So we have a lineman rodeo coming up. It's going to be really, really cool. It'll be at Northwest next Thursday, right? Check my calendar. I think it's, what's that?
I'm just told that it's upcoming.
Yeah, no, it's on the calendar though. It's next week. And that'll be open to the public. They can come and they can see these young folks essentially high wire acting. And it should be news covered. It's going to be on Thursday the 9th. I believe it starts at 9 in the morning. And we give a good opportunity if you know somebody who is kind of hemming and hawing, not sure what that is, tell them to come by and check it out. It's obviously free of charge, and it should be a fun show.
What is it?
It's called the Lineman Rodeo. So linemen will be competing.
Yeah.
Basically on the line course, which is like a high ropes course. They'll be skill competing. They'll be doing rescues.
And I know Kelsey says she'll send me the information, so we'll get that rodeo out to you all as well. Yeah, I know, I definitely want to go as well.
Yeah, it'll be fun. I like fun, free, and food.
Those three F's, I'm telling you, that's up my lane too, Mr. John. Any other last minute comments? I know we're a couple of minutes over, but thank y'all for being gracious today. Any last minute comments or announcements coming up? Okay, y'all, so for May, that is a extremely special birthday month. That is my month. But we will focus on our fourth element, and that is going to be meaningful work. And so you'll see some things, as Ms. Strickland mentioned, it's all about relationships. Make sure you take our community renewal news. You'll see some stuff that I get to do in my coaching side of life, talking about relationships, because whether it's your friends, your family, your career, it all revolves around relationships. And so you'll see my stuff coming up in June. Go ahead.
Okay, so you know her, but this is an example of relationships. So there was, what is the festival? It's some big festival downtown that I was at, and I met Sharonica because she just walked up to my booth. So I just started talking to her. She was talking about her hair and all that. So I didn't even know who she was at all. But once I built a relationship with her, she actually introduced me to a lot of people, including y'all.
Yeah, absolutely. And which is how you got here through Shay.
Yeah.
That is so precious. And it really does come full circle, y'all. And so they say it's 3 degrees of separation of people that you know or need to know. And so thank you for sharing that, Megan. Y'all, thank y'all so much for coming, and enjoy the rest of y'all Tuesday, and have a great remaining week.